Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. We'll talk about Huda. We'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, dear viewers, to our brand new series, our program here on Viewers Pulse. And I'm your host for the program, Junaid Dar. Dear brothers and sisters, I'd like to welcome you all to our fantastic program. And I must make mention that it's been a whole 7 days since we last saw each other on this program. And truly, we have missed one another. And we, inshallah ta'ala, have a fantastic program today where we are bringing to you reviews of previous programs and giving you questions that we would like for you to get involved in, and hopefully also introducing you to things that will be coming up in the near future. Let us begin by praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the one who unites our hearts, who is the one who gives us the ability to come together and to do this work, to do the da'wah, to call people to the way of the Quran and the Sunnah in the authentic manner. Furthermore, let's also make mention of the blessed name of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Dear viewers, Viewers Pulse, as you are aware, is your program. This is your opportunity to express yourself, your opportunity to bring forward anything that you would like to add to the program. If you have comments, you have suggestions, you have queries, and even if you have criticisms, you can bring those forward, and this is the hour to do so. There are so many ways in which we can communicate with one another, but we'll come to those in just a moment. Just gently remind you once again that Viewers Pulse effectively has two main aims. Number one, it's to look at previous programs, look at the activities of what we did during the last week, look at the highlights and try to review those clips, review those reports, and I'll try to give some very brief commentary on those, and hopefully you can join me as well and give me your opinions at the same time. Secondly, we'd also like to put out a question. Our question for this week, really, it's a walk in memory lane. We would like for you to, those who've been watching our programs for a long time, we would like for you to think back and look at the programs that we've had aired previously, and would like to ask you, which of these programs would you like to see a rerun? Which of these programs would you like to see again, watch again? Give us your answers to this question, and inshallah ta'ala, maybe we can rerun those programs, dig out these from the archive and put them back on the channel. So this is your opportunity to get involved, and I would really like to hear from people from all around the world. Call me from whichever country, whichever continent you are from. Let's engage with one another, and let's make this program a fruitful, interactive program, inshallah ta'ala. So dear brothers and sisters, you're probably wondering now that you want to get involved, but how can you get involved? There are so many different ways in which you can do that. Let's start from the most direct and the most easiest, and one that will get you in touch with myself in this hour right here live in the program, and that is through the telephone. You will see our numbers running across the television screen there in just a few moments. There we are. You've got the numbers there. You've got two numbers you can call from, and don't forget the code, which is right there, 002, if you're calling outside of Egypt. So do call us and answer the questions. If you want to add anything you'd like, which will add value to the program, please do so, and we'll welcome and we'll love to hear your comments from all around the world. So that's the first thing, is using the telephone. If you're unable to get to the phone for whatever reason it may be, then you can jump onto your computer, jump onto your emails, send us an email. Our email address is pulse@huda.tv. There you go. And you can email us, give us your questions, your queries, and we have a dedicated team looking into your emails, and inshallah ta'ala they will respond in the quickest time possible. Now, if you would like to use an alternative mean, which is also open during this program, and I am reviewing our Facebook page, so do go to our Facebook page, which is Huda TV, and inshallah ta'ala we can take your comments, we can take your answers to our question. There is a post actually on our Facebook page talking about this very question, about which one of our old programs would you like to see rerun again on your screens. So Facebook, very important. You get all your reminders, you get all the important information given to you directly there. And one more thing about Facebook is the fact that we encourage all of you to make use of the page, to share it, to like it, and to invite other people to the page. Don't forget that you get the reward of the good that another person gets involved in. So don't confine yourself to the reward that is available. Share the page, like the page, inshallah ta'ala. We would like to grow, but we cannot grow except with the permission of Allah and with your help. So do help us to help you, and inshallah ta'ala we can all help each other. One other thing, on our Facebook page is a link, and this link which will take you to our official Huda TV webpage. And the address of that is Huda TV. Very simple. You can go there and you can see lots of different information. The most important part of our official Huda TV webpage is the itinerary. You can see all of our programs there, given to you 24 hours of the day, 7 days a week. So you can decide and you can look and organize yourself around the timetable, around the itinerary. And inshallah ta'ala, you can watch the live programs, you can watch the reruns. And I'll make mention of some of those as well during the program and their times as well. Dear brothers and sisters, also you can join us on Twitter. Our Twitter account is Huda TV channel, and I strongly recommend all of you to subscribe to our Twitter account. Now you're probably wondering why, because it's directly linked to our Facebook. So whenever you see something new coming up on Facebook, your Twitter account will get activated and you will be in touch with us all the time during the week, during the month, and inshallah ta'ala you can join us on our programs. Our next mode of communication, and it will probably be number one in terms of importance, and that is none other than YouTube. If you go to YouTube and type in Huda TV, you will see our beautiful page, and you can watch all of our programs very simply by live streaming. You just click the button and you can watch all of our programs 24 hours of the day, 7 days a week, absolutely free. You can sit in the comfort of your own house and watch all of our programs. Not just that, but also you can leave comments on the side of our videos while they're live, or even on the archives. Put your comments there. You can engage in discussion with the people. We have free commentary, so you can say absolutely anything you like and people will be able to discuss with you and share your ideas. Did you agree with the program? Did you disagree with what people said? What's your opinion? Have you heard a different opinion? Make your voice heard. So you can join us on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, and you can leave your commentary there as well. And very importantly as well, on our YouTube page, don't forget to subscribe. We do try to invite people to our page to subscribe, and do send it out to your friends as well. Get them to join us on our page. Now, our final mode of communication is coming through Skype, and our address is Huda_TV. So do join us on Skype as well. We are usually green, so we are active, and you can join us and we can have a discussion either through typing or through voice, as you like. So the main thing, the most important thing, is that you do join us and befriend us on our Skype account. So those are the different ways in which we can talk with one another, we engage with one another. The two most direct ones for our program here is the phone and is Facebook. And I want to remind you again of our question for today's program before we move over to our first report. And that question is about our previous programs. So which of our previous programs, if you had the opportunity to watch again, which one of our previous programs would you like to see rerun? You can see the question there as well. It's on your screen. You know, what do you think? We've got so many programs talking about religious affairs, talking about political affairs, talking about social affairs, marriage, divorce. There's so many different programs that Huda, mashallah, has worked so hard over the 10 years of its existence. So you got an opportunity to go into all of those different programs. And let me read to you our first response. We've got somebody very active on our Facebook page, and they've already given us a response. Let me read that response, and then inshallah ta'ala we can move over to our first report, which will come from the Gardens of the Pious. So we have with us Sister Firdaus, and she says that she would like to see a rerun of the story of Surah Yunus by Sheikh Yasir Qadi. She said, I love it so much. Also, the way he would read the Holy Quran was amazing. So, fantastic. Sheikh Yasir Qadi recorded so many different programs for Huda TV, and there's a selection of those programs. So, one of those amazing programs is the tafsir of Surah Yusuf. It's such an emotional, passionate tafsir that you can't help but be driven and be brought to tears while watching that report. So inshallah ta'ala we will try to rerun that and make the management aware. So that's a good suggestion from Sister Firdaus. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, let's move over to our very first report, which is coming to us from Sheikh Muhammad Salah, who does his live program, The Gardens of the Pious. Let's watch this together, and then we'll come back and have some comments.
So the believers should humble themselves and should not brag, should not show pride, should not show off because of their positions, because of their creation. Somebody is more handsome than others, a woman who is prettier than others, or because of their family lineage, or because of their position, being a governor, being a high ranking officer, being whatever. Because here is Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, who is the greatest at large. He says, yes, I used to be a shepherd. I used to tend the sheep for a few carats. Al-qararit, plural of qirat, which is the change of a dinar, for a little bit of a change. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, after his mother died at the age of 6, his guardianship had been transferred to his grandfather, Abdul Muttalib, who took good care of him only for 2 years. At the age of 8, his grandfather died. And then afterward, his guardianship has been transferred to his uncle, Abu Talib, Ali's father. He has a bunch of kids, and he's in a poor condition, doesn't have much of provision. So Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam started working to earn, to support himself and to support his uncle in order to take care of his children sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was responsible since his childhood. Working is not shameful as long as you work in a lawful job. You should be ashamed if you're working in something which is haram, even if you're wearing a suit and tie. You're shaved clean, you're wearing a suit and tie, you're driving the latest year model, and or you have a driver and you have a guard to open the door for you and walk you through and carry your briefcase. People stand up to give you the greeting and salutation, but you're working in a haram. You're facilitating the haram. Maybe you are the GM of a firm or institute that deals with riba. This is all what you do. Then you should be ashamed of yourself, because your earning is haram. While a person who's earning from a lawful job, something that is halal to do, even if it is something very simple, let it be a janitor, let it be somebody who collects the trash, let it be somebody who fixes like a handyman, no problem. If it is halal, alhamdulillah, if this is what is available.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, dear viewers. After watching that short report from our program, The Gardens of the Pious, and the topic there was about humbleness. Before we give a few words about that, I would like to remind you of the airing times of this program. Gardens of the Pious is live on Mondays and Wednesdays at the time of 9 p.m. That's Mecca time, of course, and the rerun comes at 1 p.m. So do join Sheikh Muhammad Salah on his fantastic program, The Gardens of the Pious, every Mondays and Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Mecca time. And the subject matter that the Sheikh was talking about in there, in that report, was about humbleness, being shy, and the opposite of humbleness is that of being arrogant. Now, the topic of humbleness is one which we can talk about for days and days. The Prophet ﷺ himself, he said, Al-haya'u min al-iman, that shyness, that humbleness is from one's iman, meaning that there is no upper limit to it. So a male and a female, a brother and a sister, should have that sense of shyness in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not just in front of Allah, but also have that shyness in front of fellow human beings. So a person should be shy to sin in front of Allah. He should not think about the small or how small the sin is, but rather he should think about how great Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. At the same time, when he's looking at fellow human beings, let him not be arrogant with fellow human beings. Let him think about the positions of those he's working with. It's no shame for a person to be shy and humble in front of his mother, to be shy and humble in front of his father, to be shy and humble in front of his husband or his wife. These are all characteristics from the believers. We all know that Uthman, may Allah be pleased with him, the third caliph of Islam, was known to be very shy. So much so that he wouldn't even want to see a person's leg in the gathering when he entered upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a little bit of his lower leg was showing, and he covered that because he knew that Uthman was a very shy person. So it's from the qualities of the believer. Now, Abdullah ibn Umar, who is a great companion, who reported to have said that shyness and Iman are companions. If one of them leaves, then the other one is also to follow. So just think about it. A person who is shy, he is preserving or protecting his Iman. So once he loses that shyness, what's the next thing he's going to lose? It's going to be his Iman. It's starting to go down. And the Prophet ﷺ told us very clearly in a hadith that if a person does not have shyness, then let him do whatever he wants. Now that is not permission for you to go do whatever you want, but the Prophet ﷺ is saying that a person who does not have any shyness in his character, he's not afraid of Allah, he's not afraid of what the reaction of the people is, he doesn't have any form of shyness, then this person has no barriers. He will do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and think nothing about it. So these are the words, the wise words of the Prophet ﷺ, and we should be very careful in trying to preserve our shyness, and we should try to be very careful to not do the opposite. And like we had mentioned, the opposite is what? Is arrogance, being arrogant. Who was the very first creation that was arrogant? It was none other than Iblis, the devil himself, who refused to bow down to Adam, showing his arrogance. So let's not be from the followers of Shaitan and be arrogant. Let's rather be from the followers of the Prophet ﷺ and be humble in our character, humble in our behavior, humble in our attitude. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, let's move over to our second report, which is coming from Ask Huda KSA. And the topic of this particular question is all about manners. Let's watch this together, and then when we come back, we'll have a look at some of your responses to our question and also get some comments as well.
Checking the emails, Ibrahim asks, is the following hadith, ad-din al-mu'amala, which translates to, the religion is through your dealings with others? If not, is there any hadith close to this? This is not a hadith. This is something that is made up. It's a proverb, probably a saying from the old days, but it has nothing to relate to the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, as it does not exist. Nevertheless, the meaning itself is acceptable. When we say that the Prophet said ﷺ, Al-Hajju Arafah, meaning that Hajj is standing on the day of Arafah. This is to highlight the pillar of standing on the day of Arafah in the area of Arafah. But it doesn't mean that if you do this, your Hajj is complete. There are other pillars. So likewise, when the Prophet ﷺ says a lot of different hadiths highlighting the benefits of a particular form of worship, it doesn't mean that this is it and anything else does not count or is not included. No, it's just simply to highlight it. Similarly, when we say ad-din al-mu'amala, though it's not a hadith, but it is a valid statement. Religion is not only isolated in forms of worship that we know of, such as salat, siyam, hajj, though these are the pillars of Islam. Without salat, you don't have any Islam. A person is not a Muslim anymore. Yet, it is not only Islam that you pray, fast, perform hajj, give zakat, and that is it. Your moral conduct counts as well. And this is why the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, the best of you are those who have the best of moral conduct. And the closest of you to me in paradise on the day of judgment, and the most beloved to me on the day of judgment, are those who have high moral conduct. And the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, do you know who is a person who is broke? Al-Muflis? So the companions answered according to their knowledge and said that Al-Muflis, a broke person, is the one who doesn't have wealth, he doesn't have furniture, he doesn't have money. The Prophet said, no, alayhi salatu wasalam, the broke person on the day of judgment is a person who comes with prayer, fasting, and charity. Yet he has slandered this one, and beaten this one, and shed the blood of that one, and cursed that one, and taken the money of that one. So on the day of judgment, Allah would hold him accountable, and Allah would change, Allah would charge him, would take from his good deeds according to his sins. He would be giving from his good deeds to those whom he had insulted or abused.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, dear viewers, after watching that short report on Ask Huda Kaise with Sheikh Asim al-Hakim. And you can watch that live program every Saturdays, and that is after the Maghrib prayer. That's according to the Mecca time. And the rerun of that is at 2 a.m. So you can join him live and you can give him your phone calls and give him your comments, and hopefully he will answer your questions. Now, dear brothers and sisters, our question for today's program is a question about our previous programs. Now, which one of our old programs would you like to see a rerun of? So we've already had one comment telling us about the rerun of Yasir Qadi's tafsir of Surah Yusuf. Fantastic. What do you think? What do people around the world think? People in Africa, people in Asia, people in Europe, what programs would you like to see rerun on the screens of Huda TV? Pick up your phones and call me. Give me your comments, give me your queries, give me your thoughts. I'd love to hear what it is that you are thinking. Let me have a look at a comment on our Facebook page, and then we can move forward. We have a comment coming from Rilwan, and he says, I would like to see the program 99 Names of Allah. The more you hear about the explanation of the presenter, the better it is. And he makes mention that the Sheikh was a Pakistani Sheikh, but he forgets to mention his name. So great, we can go through our archives and look at the program again, the 99 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we have another comment coming to us from Ramatu Muhammad Nada, and he says, I would like to see Ask Huda by Sheikh Muhammad Salah, and The Inevitable Journey also by Sheikh Muhammad Salah. So mashallah, there we can have a look at a number of different programs, rerunning some of Ask Huda's previous programs. You can hear those questions being answered again. The Inevitable Journey, looking at the journey of the soul from this world to the journey in the hereafter. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, let's move over to our next report, which is coming from Quran in depth, and the subject matter here is about hypocrisy. So let's watch this very carefully, and then when we come back, hopefully we'll get a phone call and we'll read some more comments, inshallah ta'ala.
Bashir al-Munafiqeen. Al-Munafiqeen, the plural of Munafiq. Al-Munafiq is the hypocrite, the one that shows one thing and he hides another thing. The major hypocrisy that takes the person outside the fold of Islam, which is really meant in these verses, are those who have in their hearts disbelief. They never departed from disbelief. They are with the believers, with their beliefs and so on, but they pretend to be among the believers. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning them. The other type of hypocrisy, which is the minor hypocrisy, a person might be a Muslim within the fold of Islam, but he shows some of the characteristics of hypocrites. But in his heart, he's not among the disbelievers. He does not have disbelief in his heart. That means he has a characteristic or so from hypocrisy till he purify himself from it. It can lead him to the major hypocrisy. And this is where they call it or they give the name of it of al-nifaq al-amali, or the practical hypocrisy, like breaking the promise, like lying and things of that, and betraying the trust, as the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that in the hadith. But here let's reflect upon this. So the warning is very clear, very direct, that بَشِّرِ الْمُنَافِقِينَ بِأَنَّ لَهُمْ عَذَابًا أَلِيمًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is ordering the Prophet ﷺ to give this tidings to the hypocrites, because they have a severe punishment waiting for them. The Prophet ﷺ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed him about the hypocrites with their names. But the Prophet ﷺ didn't do anything about them. Meaning, he did not warn the believers by the names of the hypocrites. And he only informed like one Sahabi, which he used to be known as the one that keeps the secrets of the Prophet ﷺ. And other than that, the companions of the Prophet ﷺ didn't know that. And of course there's a reason for this. Because these people, they are considered among the community of the Muslims. And the Prophet ﷺ would not do anything about them, because this would look as if the believers, they are fighting with one another. So rather, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed these verses to the Prophet ﷺ to warn against hypocrisy, to warn them, and they know themselves when they are told that they would receive a severe punishment, and to expose their characteristics for the believers to be warned and to take precautions against them.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, dear viewers, after watching that short report from our fantastic program Quran in Depth by Sheikh Ibrahim Zidan. And he goes through the Quran in a very detailed manner, extracting out all the different benefits of each verse and each word. And really, it's a gem. It's one that program you should not miss if you truly want to understand the meanings of the Quran. You can watch this program every Sundays, and that is at 7 p.m. Mecca time, and the rerun is then at 2 p.m. So do join Sheikh Ibrahim Zidan and go through the Quran with him in a very slow but very academic manner, so you take benefit of everything that is being mentioned in those verses. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, let me remind you of our question again for our program. Which one of our previous programs would you like to see a rerun of? Our old programs, which one of those would you like to see back on the screens of Huda TV? We've had a number of different suggestions on our Facebook page, but we're still waiting for someone to call us and give us their opinion over the phone. Now, let's read out some more of your comments about that particular question. We have with us Sister Nigar Burhan, and she says, there are so many, it is difficult to select on, but I will pick one, and it is like the program Missing Ingredients. I think she said something along those lines. We have also another comment coming from Sister Aisha Nuruddin, and Sister Aisha, she says that she would like to watch the program Visitor at Home by Sheikh Muhammad Salah, and a second program she said she would like to see a rerun of as well is A Time to Please Allah. So subhanAllah, lots of different programs, lots of different suggestions. We have one other suggestion coming from Brother Hadi Musa, and he says the program Hear and Obey. So mashallah, we're getting lots of different ideas, lots of different reminders coming from our programs previously. We're getting reminded of some of the things we did years back. So inshallah ta'ala, let's take a short break here, and then when we come back, we'll have a look at a few more reports and get your comments, and hopefully have a conversation with the first person to pick up the phone and join me here live in the studio. So let's take a short break. I'll see you all in a few moments.
Allah is my heart's speech, your mercy.
My dear viewers everywhere, welcome to another live edition of your program Ask Huda. Our phone numbers, they are code 002-0238-555, 131 or 132, and the Facebook page is Dr. Muhammad Salah Official. Being able to get up for Fajr, to pray Fajr on time, or to attend the Fajr in Jama'ah is the outcome of many practices. Yani, it is the result of working hard to increase your iman, is working hard to remain steadfast on the straight path.
I have a question. I would like to start. I am a revert who is working in KSA from past 3 years. and I'm basically from India. So my question is
Not to forget that Allah the Almighty made this ummah, the ummah of Muhammad, peace be upon him, superior because of this quality, the quality of enjoining what is good and forbidding what is evil.
Because this is very important. Even in our country, in Muslim countries or non-Muslim countries, there are people who don't know how to do ghusl. And I tried all the websites and YouTube videos, but I don't know which one is authentic. But if it comes from Huda TV, that would be something authentic, and I can forward it, and we can share it with other people. That would be a great favor for us.
Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest.
TV commercials motivate viewers into immediate action and to sway consumer loyalty from one brand or service to the other. That's why we're here for you, to help you sell your products and services by using creative ideas that bring life into your own TV commercial. Advertise your business and branded products and services on Huda TV. We will offer you fast-paced and energetic 30-second affordable TV spots. Advertise on Huda TV. Acquire fresh customers and stay within your budget. For more info or to receive a quote, please send your inquiries to advert@Huda TV. Huda TV.
Go ahead, Ya Shuaib. Recite from ayah number 16 to 26.
Yeah, okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ولقد خلقنا الإنسان ونعلم ما توسوس به نفسه ونحن أقرب إليه من حبل الوريد.
تلقى المتلقيان عن اليمين وعن الشمال قعيد ما يلفظ من قول إلا لديه رقيب عتيد.
جاءت سكرة الموت بالحق ذلك ما كنت منه تحيد ونفخ في الصور ذلك يوم الوعيد وجاءت كل نفس معها سائق وشهيد لقد كنت في غفلة من هذا فكشفنا عنك غطاءك فبصرك اليوم حديد.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, dear viewers. After taking a short break there, joining us on our live program, Viewers Pulse, where we are reviewing a number of different reports, different programs from the last week. And at the same time, our phone lines are open and you can join us on our program by answering the question about our previous programs. Which one of our old programs would you like to see a rerun of? So answer that question. The phone lines are open. Join us. Give us your comments, your questions. Even if you would like to add something new, any kind of comment, please do so. Pick up your phones. Join me here in the studio. If you can't get to your phones, then you can always join us on Facebook, where if you go to our page, Huda TV, you can leave a comment and I will try my best to read those out. So we've got a few more comments actually talking about that particular question. And we have with us a comment from Salma Nuru, and she responds by saying she would like to see a rerun of the program Time to Please Allah. And then we have Brother Arif Muhammad, and he responds as he would like to see a program with Mufti Ismail Mink. So that's a suggestion, and that's a good idea as well. Another comment coming from Dagan Ahmed, and he writes he would like to see a rerun of all of Sheikh Yasir Qadi's programs. Another response coming to us from Anis Fatima, and he says here that he would like to see a rerun of all of Kareem Abu Zaid's programs. MashaAllah, all of our scholars and speakers are being mentioned through these posts. And we have Sister Habiba Dahir Salman. She says she would like to see a rerun of any program with Mufti Mink and a program with Yasir Qadi. So MashaAllah, lots of references to our old programs, and we really are happy to hear all of those different comments. So do call us, do continue joining us on our programs and joining us on Facebook, giving me your ideas, giving me your thoughts. We're still live with each other. We still have a good 15-20 minutes together. So remain active and join me with your thoughts. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, we are going to move over to our upcoming report. And this report is going to be looking at our live program, which is Let's Talk. Now, Let's Talk has a number of different unique features, different to other programs, where we have 4 unique guests coming from around the world, and they share their thoughts, they share their opinions on a subject matter. And the presenter for that program is Brother Yusuf Kroma, and mashallah ta'ala, he brings a new twist to the program. He presents it in such a unique way. You get to hear everybody's opinions. Let's watch this clip, which is talking about the low self-esteem, and then when we come back, hopefully we'll get some of your comments and also watch and get some comments on the report as well.
So right now, you know, the problem with self-esteem, it goes back to a lot of, I can say, you know, something that ignites this problem, which make it like more, you know, focused or intense. That would be the way the person was raised, first of all. You know, the way his social environment, you know, his ability to express himself, you know. Maybe he can't handle that, you know, problem that I mean, maybe he had a friend or a father or a mother or someone else looking out for him, who used to always solve his problem, you know. So you have to depend on yourself. Don't depend on anyone.
That's something that we're going to get into now. We're just going to define the term now. Brother Hamid?
Before I would define what's low self-esteem, let's just take self-esteem, you know, which is, you know, self-regard, how you view yourself as an individual, your abilities, your worth, you know, how you just view yourself. So low self-esteem would be that individual who lacks confidence in his or herself, you know, lack of confidence in your abilities and your worth,
Okay. Brother Shafi?
Well, when you talk about low self-esteem, I mean, for me, from my perspective, it's a one way or another to be, I mean, disappointed. I mean, to disappoint yourself, and to be less confident, you know, and this always happens according to the environment you live, or people. I mean, people around you. That's all to it.
Brother Idris?
Basically, I would define it as something that the value that one placed on themselves. So the value that you see yourself, and also the worth that you see yourself. And that's basically the bottom line. Everyone's kind of, you know, revolving around this same idea, and of course there's lots of other, you know, angles to look at it, as far as symptoms and what happens to you. But now we're going to get into that, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, dear viewers, after watching that short report from our program Let's Talk, which had an interesting discussion about low self-esteem. Now, to join us on that program, every Mondays we are live at 7 p.m. Mecca time, and the rerun of that program is given to you at 2 a.m. And I strongly advise you to tune into that program Let's Talk, because really they have some really valuable questions or topics for debate, and you really get to hear different opinions from people from around the world with different experiences, with different thoughts, different ideas. So it's really a comprehensive discussion on the topic of low self-esteem on that particular one. And the topic of low self-esteem is very important for a person to understand his worth, to understand his value, and for a person to assess himself and to see, does he have the characteristics of a strong person? Does he have the characteristics of a leader? Does he have the qualities of a true believer, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has described inside of the Holy Quran? Low self-esteem could be for a number of different reasons. One of those could be the whispering of the shaitan, constantly whispering in your ear, making you confused, making you feel weak. So what should you do in turn? You should build your iman, build your strength, so that you can overcome these barriers. Sometimes it's just a psychological thing that you think you are not good enough, or that you are not able to do something, but you are. So you must strengthen yourself and give that ability to yourself, and believe in yourself, have the confidence. You may fall short, but when you fall, you get up and you keep going, and in that way you'll build yourself and you'll become a stronger human being. My dear brothers and sisters, we have our upcoming report now coming from our live program Huda Tonight, where we're going to be looking at the life of one of the giants or the lions of Islam. It is none other than Omar. Let's watch this report, and then when we come back, we'll look at your comments to our question about the previous programs, and also some comments on this particular report.
Amr ibn al-As used to have a son by the name of Abdullah. Abdullah used to play with a Coptic son. They were like competing each other on a horse, that he who will defeat will take something, you understand, competing each other. Then it happened that Coptic boy, Egyptian, who was inhabitant, happened to have defeated the son of Amr ibn al-As, Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As. Then the son of Amr ibn al-As felt that, oh, how can you defeat me? I'm the son of the president, or I'm the son of the governor. He was, hit him with a cane. Then that Coptic Christian, happened to be felt, cheated, because he was hit by a lash by the son of the governor. So instead of him to complain to the father, who is the governor of Umar bin al-Khattab in Egypt, Amr ibn al-As, he rather decided to go to Medina in order to complain to the president, to the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, who happened to be Umar bin al-Khattab. He told them that, you see what the son of your governor has done to me? He hit me because I defeated him in a competition.
SubhanAllah.
So Umar ibn al-Khattab, is that what happened? Umar ibn al-Khattab decided to summon, to call the father, Amr ibn al-As, and the son, Abdullahi, down to Medina, the headquarters of Islam then. When he called them, he said, did this happen? Did you lash this Coptic Christian because he is not Muslim? Because your father is the governor and you are a Muslim, you think that then you can just lash him like that? Did you do that? Yes, I did that. Okay. Now, the son, the Coptic man, was given a lash, a cane, and asked to lash back the son of Amr ibn al-As, Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As, in the presence of his father and in the presence of the world. After he was lashed, Abdullah, then the man was asked, are you satisfied now? He was Christian. He was in the presence of the president, who was a Muslim, and he was beating the governor, the son of the governor, who was Amr ibn al-As, the governor of Egypt, and he was a Christian minority. After that, he said, are you satisfied? Yes, I'm satisfied. He said, now you can go. Then Umar ibn al-Khattab looked at Amr ibn al-As and said that, when did you enslave people while they were giving birth as freedom, as they were created by Almighty God? So Islam does not look at, forcing someone, no matter how powerful Islam is. Islam is not a religion of dogma, saying that you should do this one and you have no word, you have no any opinion. You can even argue. There are so many people who came and argued Prophet Muhammad about Islam. Sure. And there are people who are not Muslim who came and jacked the cloth of Prophet Muhammad. And some of the companions were angry, like Umar bin al-Khattab. But Prophet Muhammad said, no, allow them. What do you have? He discussed with them, and later on they went and they came back. There are so many stories about this one. We have read in Ibn Kathir and Sirat Ibn Hisham about this one.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, dear viewers, after watching that short report and our live program Huda Tonight. And you can watch Huda Tonight every day of the week except for Fridays and Saturdays. And its airing time is at 10:30 p.m. Of course, that's Mecca time again. And the rerun of that is at 2 p.m. So do enjoy those live discussions, and you can join them with your phone calls as well as you can with our program here on Viewers Pulse. And don't forget that the topic in that particular report was about the virtues or the justice of Umar al-Faruq, Umar, the second caliph of Islam, and his justice and his strength requires no elaboration. His life was full of showing mercy and showing justice to all people around the world. Umar actually, when he was the leader of the Muslims, it was well known that the Islamic empire spread far east and far wide, and many a times Umar would be seen crying. And when it was asked to Umar, why are you crying? He is the leader of a great empire, wealthy empire. They had so much wealth that it was unbelievable how much wealth they had generated. But when he was asked about why he was crying, he responded and he said that I'm afraid that when I meet Allah, Allah is going to ask me about how even the animals inside of my kingdom, how they were treated. That if one cow or a camel slipped and fell over and hurt itself, Allah is going to ask me about that injustice I did to that particular animal. SubhanAllah, they were concerned even about the animals, let alone the human beings. So, dear brothers and sisters, something to think about, something to ponder about. Now, let's move over to our next report, which is coming to us from Ask Huda, talking about beauty surgeries. Let's watch this report together, and then hopefully we can look at some more of your comments about our question. Which one of our old programs would you like to see a rerun of in the future? So let's watch this report, inshallah.
The first question is from Tanjima Islam. Sister Tanjima says that my sister got some gap between her front teeth. So is it permissible for her to wear braces for minimizing the teeth gap according to Islamic rules? Whenever a dentist prescribes wearing braces for a patient for a medical reason, then it is permissible to wear the braces, whether to correct the crookedness or if this gap is affecting her speech or is affecting her eating habits. But otherwise, for mere purification and it is not necessary, then you should not actually do it. Anything to restore the original creation is permissible, and anything that there is something which is crookedness in the teeth or medically advised to correct it is also permissible. But to change it for mere purification, this is not what is permissible. As a matter of fact, in the past, it used to be the opposite, that it was considered a sign of beauty to have a gap between the teeth, between all the teeth, not only the front teeth or the front two teeth. So the Prophet ﷺ mentioned in the hadith, which forbids altering and changing the creation of Allah. He says, وَالْمُتَفَلِّجَاتِ لِلْحُسْنِ الْمُغَيِّرَاتِ لِخَلْقِ اللَّهِ. الْمُتَفَلِّجَاتِ لِلْحُسْنِ. Those who file their teeth in order to create gaps between the teeth, in order to appear pretty and beautiful. This is not permissible. So if it is simply to change the creation to look pretty, this is not permissible. But if it is medically advised, then go for it, and there is no restriction whatsoever. Wallahu ta'ala a'la wa a'lam.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, dear viewers. After watching that short report by Sheikh Muhammad Salah on his very famous, very popular program, Ask Huda, you can watch him live every Sundays and Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Mecca time, and the rerun of that particular program is at 1 p.m. So do enjoy those programs. Bring your questions forward, and Sheikh Muhammad Salah will try his best to answer those live on air. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, we put the question to you, as you can see it there. Which one of our old programs would you like to see a rerun of? And we've had lots of responses. Let's read another particular response, and this comes from Suleiman Muhammad Sabu, and he says he would like to see a rerun of the program Quran Circle. So, mashallah, we've had lots of different suggestions, lots of different comments. We thank all of you for those comments and those suggestions, and we appreciate it very much. Don't forget that we will be live again tonight on our program, Huda Tonight, where we will have a very special guest, and you will see me hosting the program, and our topic will be about arrogance. So do join us on that program. Inshallah ta'ala, will be an interactive program. The phone lines will be open as well. So I will see you tonight, hopefully, at 10:30 p.m. Mecca time. So do join us, inshallah ta'ala. So until the evening, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We'll talk about Huda, we'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. We'll talk about Huda, we'll talk about our way. Come join us and have your say. Let's talk about our way. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home. Remember, you are not alone. Huda is the light in your home.